This 18-year-old went from homeless to Real Madrid star. What if I told you that one of Real Madrid's youngest superstars was once just a hungry kid from Brazil? Literally hungry. Before signing million-euro contracts and buying mansions in Madrid, he was living in poverty, playing barefoot and dreaming of food, not fame. This is the incredible story of Endrick, the boy who went from almost homeless to signing for the biggest football club in the world. And trust me, it's a story of struggle, family, love, and a little bit of YouTube magic. Endrick Felipe de Souza was born in July 2006 in Brasilia, Brazil, a place known for politics and poverty, not usually for producing future Galacticos. His childhood was rough. His dad, Douglas, was a semi-pro footballer who never made it big. After retiring, he took whatever job he could find, cleaning, construction, even selling food on the streets just to feed the family. But one thing never changed. Douglas believed his son had something special. When Endrick was just 4 years old, he was already scoring goals against kids twice his age, sometimes even adults. His dad saw raw talent, and he made sure the world saw it too. Douglas began filming his son's goals on an old smartphone and uploading them to YouTube. The videos were shaky, sometimes blurry, but they showed this tiny kid doing things with a football that didn't make sense. He wasn't tall, he wasn't strong, but wow, he had that Brazilian magic, dribbling through defenders like he was late for dinner. Soon enough, one of those videos reached a scout from Palmeiras, one of Brazil's biggest clubs. And that's when things started to change, slowly. To join Palmeiras, Endrick and his family moved to Sao Paulo, but life didn't get easier. In fact, it got harder. They had no steady income, no home, and sometimes no food. Douglas even admitted in interviews that the family almost ended up homeless. He was doing odd jobs and selling food outside football grounds just to keep them alive. And yet, every day, Endrick trained. He said later, "My father sold food to buy my boots. I owe everything to him." Those words tell you everything about this kid's character. Then there's Endrick's mother, quiet, private, always in the background, always holding the family together. While Douglas chased football dreams with Endrick, she worked to pay bills, to keep the lights on, to make sure there was food, even when there almost wasn't. She protected her sons from the world and pushed them to stay humble when life changed. Today, she lives peacefully in Spain near her son, finally able to rest. Because football gives glory to the players, but it's mothers who carry the weight long before the world sees the talent. Endrick also has a younger brother, someone he calls his best friend. The two spend childhood evenings juggling cheap plastic balls on dusty streets, pretending to be the next Ronaldo or Ronaldinho. They learned the game together, shared torn boots, shared hunger, shared stress, and shared the dream. Today, that brother travels with Endrick, learns with him, and watches the life they once only imagined unfold in real time. When Endrick trains at Valdebebas, his brother studies and trains too, because now the family knows dreams aren't just possible, they're contagious. By the time he was 15, Endrick had exploded onto the scene. In the Copinha, Brazil's most famous youth tournament, he scored 6 goals in 7 matches, leading Palmeiras to victory. The internet blew up. Clips of his goals went viral. People started calling him the next Pele. And suddenly, the poor boy from Brasilia was being scouted by the biggest clubs in Europe. Barcelona wanted him, Chelsea wanted him, PSG wanted him, but one club stood out above the rest: Real Madrid. In December 2022, Real Madrid signed Endrick for a massive 72 million euros, bonuses included. That made him one of the most expensive teenagers in football history. But there was a catch. He couldn't move to Spain until he turned 18 because of FIFA rules. So he stayed at Palmeiras, scoring goals, breaking records, and making headlines. He became the youngest player to ever score in the Brazilian league and the youngest Brazilian called up to the national team since Pelé. He even scored against England and Spain in international friendlies at just 17 years old. From YouTube clips filmed by his dad to scoring at Wembley, that's a crazy upgrade. And somewhere along the way, Endrick met someone special, Gabrielle Miranda. She's a Brazilian model, influencer, and one of his biggest supporters. The two met through mutual friends in Brazil back when he was still playing for Palmeiras. They started dating quietly in 2023, and in a move that shocked everyone, they got married in 2024, when Endrick was just 17. Now, before you say, wait, 17? Yeah, Brazilians don't mess around. But it actually shows how mature Endrick is. He's been living an adult life since he was a kid, focused, responsible, and loyal. And if you see them together online, they're basically the definition of young love. Football, faith, and matching Instagram fits. Did I even have a girlfriend at 17? Moving on. Nowadays, Endrick's life looks very different. He's living in Madrid, training daily at Real Madrid's state-of-the-art Valdebebas complex, and reportedly earning around 8 million euros a year. That's roughly 150,000 euros per week. More than his dad probably made in his entire life. He's reportedly bought a luxury villa in one of Madrid's elite neighborhoods, near where Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo live. Think private pool, home gym, cinema room, and enough bedrooms for his entire extended family if they visit from Brazil, which they often do. He's even said he wants his parents to live comfortably now as thanks for everything they sacrificed. His dad, Douglas, still works with him, managing parts of his team and helping him stay grounded. As for his new lifestyle, let's just say Endrick has embraced the Galactico life. He's been spotted driving a Mercedes G-Wagon, has a Range Rover Sport, and reportedly has his eye on a Porsche Taycan, because, of course, electric cars are cool when you're 18 and rich. But the funny part is, despite all that, he's still a bit of a kid. He once joked that he doesn't know how to cook anything except eggs and noodles, and that Madrid portions are too small compared to Brazil. He's also said he still feels weird shopping in designer stores because he remembers days when he and his dad couldn't even afford bread. The most heartwarming part, Endrick's kept his entire family close. His parents and brother now live comfortably thanks to him. He once said in an interview, "I play for them. Everything I do is for them." And that's what makes his story so powerful. He hasn't forgotten where he came from. Now his focus is on two things: proving himself at Real Madrid alongside Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, and Bellingham, and making Brazil's squad for the 2026 World Cup in North America. Imagine that, from filming goals on YouTube to scoring goals on football's biggest stage. It's wild to think that just a few years ago, Endrick's biggest worry was whether he had lunch. Now his biggest decision is which Rolex goes with his Louis Vuitton tracksuit. From washing dishes with his dad to being worth more than some small European clubs. From sand pitches in Brasilia to the Santiago Bernabéu. The glow up is insane. Endrick's story isn't just about football. It's about faith, family, and fighting for a dream when you have nothing. His dad believed when no one else did. A few YouTube clips changed their lives forever. And now, Endrick isn't just another Brazilian wonder kid. He's proof that with heart, humility, and hustle, you can rewrite your story completely. Because if a kid who once couldn't afford football boots can now wear Real Madrid white, then honestly, anything is possible. If you loved this story, hit that like button and subscribe for more incredible football journeys. And comment below, do you think Endrick is the next Neymar, the next Ronaldo, or maybe just the first Endrick? Either way, his story has only just begun, and something tells me the best chapters are still to come.